How's it going, everyone? It is Prashan here, and I have another Marvel Snap video, and I have another friend of the show here, Black Dama. His deck has freaking taken over Marvel Snap. Um, yeah. So we want to talk about yourself for a second. Let the people know who you are.
All right, so I'm Black Dama. I'm from Germany, half American, half German. I was born in North Carolina, so I got them states roots. Yeah, other than that, I have an Instagram page asking for the name Black Dama. It comes from Kendama. Kendama is a Japanese skill toy, which is a super huge deal in the States. I'm trying to build that up here in Germany now.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, other than that, just like anybody else, I'm a hardcore Marvel snapper. I fell in love. I love Marvel. I love the MCU, and yeah, I'm still excited to be here. And holy shit!
I know, man. I saw the deck on Twitter, and then I saw that you tagged me. But I was so busy over the weekend, and I was like, "Crap, man! I really want to play this deck because I really like Galactus decks."
Yeah,
And then
yes.
Tucker played it, he got pretty far with it, and then Snap Judgments posted it. So how does it feel to be acknowledged of something
Uh,
you made?
well, I mean, it's crazy. I'm just like I said, I'm a random guy like anybody else. You sit there, you play Marvel Snap, you find something you love, you start to connect with the community. But usually, if you you know, in a day-to-day routine. You watch your YouTube videos, you check your Twitters, look at new decks, new cards coming out. Everyone's dropping decks. Lambie's dropping decks. Cozy, Alex, KM Best, all the big ones. Shout out to all those guys because all of you guys, Prashan, all of your videos. I just want to give a huge shout out to the Marvel Snap community. It's been a joy. I've learned a lot, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's just super crazy. I posted a deck because I posted a couple, and I had my original deck. I can talk about that later. For this build, and it didn't pop out. I was like, man, I think this is good. There's a secret combo in here. I don't see anybody playing with that. And then I was like, all right, so let me rework this because the meta is always shifting. We know how it
mm.
goes. Cards get buffed, cards get nerfed. Probably gonna have to change Red Hulk soon because that card for sure is getting nerfed.
Oh yeah,
If
for sure. He's
so,
OP.
yeah, the deck's called Red Death now, but depending, I might have to switch out Red Hulk, and then the deck will be called, I don't know, Purple Death if Kang gets buffed for some random reason.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been an insane experience. I still can't fathom so many people commenting and, yo, your deck, I'm hitting infinite. I'm just a dude. I just made a deck. I just put it out there, and then overnight it's like boom, 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 snap judgments. Everybody, I was like, ugh, it's still
Y-
hard.
Yeah, man. Because I saw that you tagged me. I was like, man, I really want to check out this deck out, but I don't have time. But I was able to play it a little bit, and it's a sleeper
How do
because especially with the whole Nico Electro thing, and then the whole
Yeah.
Jeff deception, and then Daredevil helps out a lot too with that Jeff deception. So
Oh,
we'll
for
go over the deck, and then we'll play some games together. I'll have you guide me that way I could feel your
yeah,
thought process and see how you navigate through it. So
let's do that.
So we're gonna go by the deck card by card. You just tell me your thoughts and your thinking of why it's in the deck. So first we'll go Nebula.
Okay, so Nebula, pretty simple, amazing season pass card. Nebula always has been for me a pressure card. So you drop Nebula on one. What I usually like to do is I play my Nebula in the right location, a location you can't see. Sometimes it bites you in the ass, but sometimes it's just super solid. If you like third location reveals and it's a Sanctum Sanctorum, you're pretty much safe, which makes the whole thing a lot easier. And Nebula is also a bait card, so you're baiting your opponent to play in the Nebula location, so you have more slots, middle and left location to drop your Galactus in a later turn.
Yeah, I've noticed that Nebula's been more of a control bait card lately. You just put her in one
For
spot
sure.
and just make sure put that pressure on your opponent to play in that location. That way she doesn't get too big. Even though I don't think
Yeah.
she gets out of control, it's just like the
But
back of their
I
head. They're
mean,
like, oh, I have to play there.
yeah, I mean, it hurts. You have like your free space when your first turn starts, you're thinking about it. Let's say you don't have a draw one turn and you skip, and then your opponent plays a Nebula down, and then the second turn you don't also have anything that you can play, and then the Nebula starts to get buffed. It's a little thing, but it's buffing, but it hurts. It's like a little all right, you can't play in here, you're gonna get punished for it.
Right. And then next we have Nico.
So Nico, probably one of the best cards in the deck. I remember when Nico dropped, and I've been a Galactus player the entire time. I mean, I played every deck. I try everything. You know, I like to play Loki a lot. I like to play Destroy a lot, but Galactus and Professor X especially has always been my main go-tos because the card mechanics, you know, what happens is like it's very unique and it's always a joy to see it. I've seen it like thousands of times. But considering Nico, the main reason tech is for Electro. So if I drop my Nico on one and she has, or let's say I have her on my hand, turn one starts and I have either the draw two destroy or the demon and I have Electro on my hand, I'm already snapping because you're already in a very decent position to win. So I'll drop my Nico on one. Let's say we have the destroy two, which is the best out of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I'll skip turn two, you know, for could be a Daredevil or a Jeff, but usually if I have Electro on my hand, I'm skipping turn two because I'll need the extra power. And then on turn three, you drop your Electro. Just thinking about the mechanic, so you're destroying your Electro on three, you're drawing two extra cards. You could draw your Pro X, you could draw your Goblin, you could draw your Galactus, you could draw your Red Hulk. It's insane.
Yeah, like Nico's definitely a engine that makes this deck like so good. And then next we have Daredevil.
So I think Daredevil to this day is a super underrated 2-drop. You know, you only have 6 turns, sometimes 7 if you play Magic, but usually only have 6 turns. And on turn 5 is probably one of the most crucial turns in each round. And just knowing what your opponent's going to play, knowing where he's going to play, knowing that you can see the card, look at the card. It's just so much information. I don't understand why not a lot of people are playing Daredevil because it's a super busted card. And Prashant, if you think about it, imagine if Daredevil didn't exist as a card and let's say next month or the month after that, Daredevil would be a season pass card. People would be going crazy like, oh,
yeah,
shake up the meadow. You can see turn 5. I mean, the card is super insane for a 2-drop. So yeah, that's why Daredevil's in the list. It helps out with your Pro X. It helps out with your Galactus lines. It helps you out with general information of your opponent's deck. It's a super underrated card.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then next we have Jeff.
So Jeff, also a very, very decent 2-drop. Jeff is for your all-time altercations. You can play Jeff in your Pro X lane. It gives you some freedom. Jeff also has a hidden tech that I haven't seen a lot of people, or probably barely anyone, seen using this hidden tech. And I'll be dropping this here the first time for everybody to know. So everybody who plays with this deck and has Jeff, here's something cool that you can do with Jeff. So I like to say Jeff is a hidden 2-drop Shang-Chi. And people will be like, hey, what do you mean Jeff is a Shang-Chi? You can't destroy cards. So here's what you do. So let's say on 1 you play your Nebula. Or no, let's say on 1 you don't play any card. On 2 you drop your Jeff in the left location. On 3 you play your Wave in the middle location. So now that Galactus is a thing again, or always has been a thing, people think, okay, you played your Wave on 3, and most people think they're going to drop their Galactus in the right location because it's empty. And so what I like to do, I'll use Jeff as a bait and move Jeff out of the left location and drop my Galactus in there. And people take the bait so much, you know, they'll drop a Red Hulk in the right location. You'll destroy a big card. That's why I say Jeff is like a kind of like a Shang-Chi, because you trick the player into dropping a big card on 4 and it gets destroyed from Galactus.
Yeah, Jeff is definitely deception. I do that all the time too. Like, you just put down Jeff, and then especially if you have Nebula on the board too, they think like you're gonna play like a Storm or some type of control deck, and then as soon as you play that Wave, they're probably thinking Doom, maybe that you're gonna play a Doom or something, and then boom, the Galactus like just throws them off guard.
What's also really nice with Jeff is Nico, because, you know, if you lock down a lane early, you can not only play your Jeff into the Pro X location, but if you have Nico and you have the Demon spell, you can play your Jeff in the Pro X location. Jeff will still change to a 1/6, which could be that extra power that you need. Sometimes I win a lot of matches because that's that 2 extra energy where the opponent's like, all right, you already played your your card say you can't play anything, and that's like a little surprise spice.
Nice. And then next we have Electro. We touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah, Electro ramp card, turn 3. His downside, I mean, it's not really a downside in this deck since you're mostly playing 1 cards per turn. But if you have the Nico combo with Electro, you can destroy your Electro. It's just more freedom that you have, and that 1 extra energy is so much. You can, like I said, play your Goblin on 4, send it over. You can lock it down on 5. Or you'll play Red Hulk on 5 and have a location already locked down previously turns. And super insane card. Downside isn't really a downside in this deck. And like I said, the Nico combo is super, super busted, especially if it's the true 2-draw.
nice. And then speaking of ramp, we have another ramp card here, Wave.
Wave, classic ramp Wave. Yeah, turn 3 Wave. It always depends, if I'm going to either Galactus, but sometimes more often than that, sometimes I'll just random Pro X a lane. The enemy, your opponent's not expecting it. Sometimes I'll just play the Pro X on the wave lane, 6 power. That's usually enough because you'll have that deception thing again. Okay, he's dropping a wave on 3. He'll probably play a Galactus left or right. I'll drop the Pro X in the middle and I'll be good from there.
Nice. And then of course we have Shang-Chi.
Shangers for bangers. Shang, you always need a Shang. You don't see a lot of Shang in Galactus decks, is the experience I had lately. So having like a surprise Shang in your backhand, especially if you're in a Galactus lane, super awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then next we have Hobgoblin here.
Hobgoblin, love Dan Hip. I'm super Dan Hip fan, so nice variant there.
Oh yeah, I saw. I'll probably have it in the video, but like your whole deck is freaking inked out.
Yeah, in the original build instead of Red Hulk, I'll touch on that when we get to Red Hulk.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, as for Goblin, yeah, you send them over on turn 4. You can sometimes wave on 3 and send it over on 4. It depends on the location, like Bar Sinister or something like that. Where you'll send an early Goblin over. You have 4 at the other opposite location. You have 1 -8, but that location is safe. And then you can concentrate your power in another location to go big, basically. And of course, Hobgoblin has always been a staple in a Galactus deck. And for anybody who plays Galactus, this is nothing new.
Yeah, you know. And then next we have Professor X here.
Professor X is my personal favorite card in Marvel Snap and has always been. Professor X is like, he's been changed. He was a 5/3 originally, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 5/3 and got nerfed. It's never been of my concern. I love Pro X because he always gives you that. If you manage to get him out early, he always gives you that safety feeling.
Yeah, it's like the security blanket. You have that lane.
You have to concentrate. You have to think about so many things. The meta is always changing. New cards dropping. What can I play? People are busting out combos. Professor X is straight shuts down Hela. It shuts down Destroy. It shuts down, negative, your Sentry, trying to send it over with Annihilus. You shut that stuff down. Super busted. I love Pro X, playing Jeff in there or War Machine, to get in that Pro X lane. I love the card. It's like a safe haven.
Yep. And then next, we have Galactus here.
The G-Man Galactus.
Yeah.
Galactus was actually my first purchase in the token shop when he dropped for 6,000 tokens. That was my first card because it was so fascinating. I thought the card was so unique. The animation, Neo before Galactus is destroying all boards and stuff. I thought that was so cool. I know Galactus is a toxic card. We all know that. People always say when you play Galactus deck, you have no skill, blah, blah, blah. I have people now saying, okay, I'm just losing with this deck. It's not good. So if I'm winning with the deck, then there has to be some sort of skill, I guess. Or people just get angry because they won't say you have no skill.
I think it's the feeling. I think it's the feeling of losing that way more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. I
think even like old Elias too. I think it's the feeling of like you didn't get to see what you could have did.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that frustrates people, but I don't know. I've always been a Galactus enjoyer.
I mean, I love the card, man. It's so fucking unique. I mean, you can, get rid of two locations. A lot of decks today in the daily meta are like so combo heavy, spreading power left and right, middle. Just to
Mhm.
like annihilate two locations. Okay, it changes the dynamic of playing Marvel Snap, but essentially, at the end of the day, it's about winning points. It doesn't matter if it's winning it in 3 lanes, 2 lanes, or winning it in 1 lane. Pretty much.
Right. And then next, you have Alioth still in here.
Yes. So Alioth in my original build was in here 6-2 for obvious reasons. So you ramp out, your Goblin on 4, you play your Galactus on 5, and you finish with Alioth. There was nothing safer than going by that line. You can't lose. I know it's cheeky. I know it's toxic as hell, but a lot of people are playing it. So, I'm like, damn, I love to play this. So I'm going to play this too,
Yeah.
period. So now that Galactus is a 6-8, I mean, it hurt, for the Alioth lovers, including me. Yeah, it does hurt. But, this is important, but I still think, even though he's not as good as he was before, it's still a decent buff because it's still a 6-8, okay, compared to other sixes, not that good, but the effect is the important part. Having priority and slamming down your Alioth in, let's say, a Red Hulk lane. So you ramped out your Hulk on 5. Let's say you have a turn 7 game. Chances are probably high, maybe, that you're about to get Shang-Chi. If you play your Alioth, you immediately get rid of that threshold. Your Shang-Chi is gone. Alioth is even good in different combo heavy decks. I had a game today where my opponent played a Wong deck using Ironheart and Odin, and I basically Alioth the Odin, and I would have lost if it wasn't for the effect. So
Yeah.
I still think it's good. I still think you can play it. I definitely leave him in the deck because it just gives you that safety threshold. Even ramping on Alioth out early, if you know your opponent's about to drop a hell in a certain location, you play your Alioth there and win.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. I
So
think he's.
I still think Alioth is low key busted with this effect. He'll
Oh, yeah.
probably change again, but we'll see what happens until that time.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had that same situation too. I put a hobgoblin over on the other side. I believe they played a white tiger, and then they
Yeah.
snapped. And then
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were gonna play Odin since they snapped, so I just played Goliath, and their Odin didn't do anything, and I ended up winning the game.
Yeah, like it's crazy. I still think it's good. Won
Yeah.
me multiple games.
And then lastly, we have Red Hulk.
So Red Hulk is the latest addition to this deck. Um, Red Hulk, I'd say Red Hulk in this deck, I'd say all 11 cards are the main shell for this deck, and Red Hulk is the flex spot. So originally I had in this deck Iron Lad, and people would be like, that's risky playing Iron Lad in this deck, especially if you have a Hobgoblin. You don't want to send a 4/6 over to your opponent. It bit me a couple of times, of course, but Iron Lad is still in the deck considered a ramp card because you can hit your Pro X, you can hit your Galactus, you can hit your Jeff, you can hit your Daredevil if he's not out yet, you could hit your Electro. All hits are pretty much good except Goblin. So if you have Goblin in your hand and you're about to play an Iron Lad, it's all good because you have your Goblin in your hand. So anything you're
Right.
hitting is pretty decent. But I put Red Hulk in here because I often ran into the situation if I Galactus the lane, there's not enough power left for me to like drop the pretty low stated cards. You can drop a wave in there, 3/5, and then a 2 drop maybe. It depends on the situation, how much energy you have. But the Red Hulk is like a lingering danger. If your opponent skips, the Hulk gets big. If you get a Galactus off, and in some circumstance, you can drop your Red Hulk and you'll be safe. It's just a big stat stick, the exact stat stick that the deck needs for any situation.
Right. That sounds good. So we have the deck. It's been
Yes.
explained. And we're gonna play some games. Dama here is
Yeah.
gonna guide me through, and then hopefully we could get some dubs. So let's go
At
into the
least one.
games.
If we get one, I'm good.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go into the games. All right. So we have
Uh,
Alioth, Hobgoblin, Daredevil, and Hala is our first location.
Pretty decent hand. Let's hope the opponent energy skips. And he does. Perfect. All right. So of course we are dropping Daredevil middle location, just so we know what's going on turn 5, which is always a safe strat. So we're playing Destroy.
Yeah.
Destroy deck. Okay, let's see. Ooh, all right. Nebula and Jeff to the right. To the right, to the right. Let's see.
Do that. Hulkbuster on a X23? I guess that's fine.
Okay, you can do that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I need to be wary of a Killmonger gaining power. That's good.
So Electro, right?
Ooh, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
Very
Electro
good.
on the left. Yeah, but right. We played correct answer as right.
Deadpool.
Oh,
Deadpool.
yeah, we still get the buff here.
We still get the buff for sure.
Let's see here.
All right. Over here. You know, Pro X would be super good now. Let's see.
See what they do here.
All right, so no Pro X. We'll see. Let's see. So what we can do in case the opponent has null, I'm thinking about maybe dropping our Red Hulk in the right location so we have big power there. And then we'll Eliath the middle location. Hope if he plays an Eliath, it's dead. And hope he doesn't have a for free death, maybe.
Yeah.
So taking his time. Man, Pro X would be sick. Now I'd lock the right location, and I'll probably just slam the Red Hulk in the middle, and that should do it.
Oh wow, they're snapping.
You're snapping, okay. Okay, let's see.
Let's see what they got. That's crazy that they're snapping when we have the Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, so what's that?
That's null. So Eliath works on null.
Eliath does work on null. That's what we're gonna go for.
Yeah. Like what? Why did they think?
We're getting rid of that null right there. So that hurts. And so we basically have now. So I'd say we drop a Red Hulk, and we can get a buff from Nico. So we'll play Nico first, and then get the buff.
All right. So where do you want to play Nico?
So I'd say the middle location's pretty light, so we'll drop it in the.
Oh, they retreat.
I thought. So people have an example now. Eliath is still a good card because, as you can see, he took out a Nolan that pretty much just screwed him over.
Yeah, he's mad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We didn't have to go all out.
Yeah.
Galactus win for the G-Mans.
Yeah.
Okay, Electro Goblin, decent. Nebula. We got Nebula turn 1. We're playing Nebula right. I always play Nebula on my right, you know. Oh, is this a Nebula as well?
Oh.
Is this a mirror deck or what's going on here?
I don't know.
So, Jeff Wright. We don't need him to get a buff. Let's see what he does. Come on, man.
Pixie?
Pick again.
What's up with these Pixie decks all of a sudden?
All right, third location, Weird World.
Oh, Central Park.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yes, we're electroing anyway. The middle location.
All right.
Okay, what does he have here? So Jeff, all right. Okay, so now I would send my Goblin. I was hoping he wasn't going to play it right, so we probably clogged that lane. Looking at it now, probably best to Hobgoblin in the middle, I'd say.
All right.
Let's do that.
They play in the middle too?
Oh, yeah. All right. So he has to think really good what he wants to play in that location because, you know, that's a one-time. Okay, so the chances are high that he's going to play in the middle. So what I would do now, I'd move my Jeff all the way to the left location and drop my Pro X left as well. because if he plays his Jeff in there, we'll still win.
Ooh, he did the same. He moved Jeff over.
Yep.
He has a Hob too. Interesting.
Yeah, too. All right, we have Prio. So now it's just to drop our Red Hulk. Can we get Shang? Do we want to risk it? I'd say we drop Hulk in the middle. Hope there's no Shang. I think we're good. I hope so.
Wave?
Wait.
Oh, we got it.
We got it. Perfect. So that's a potential lockdown strategy with Pro X. You know, I mean, the deck has a learning curve. You know, I've been playing Galactus a long time. I refined the deck for a while. But yeah, you definitely can win. And once you get the mechanics down, it's busted. Just think about the Nico combo with Electro, which is super crazy. And definitely you can use the Jeff strat where you would play Jeff in a location and wave on 3 and move Jeff out of the location because it's likely very high that your opponent is tunnel visioning into an empty location. You move your Jeff out and play Galactus there. And that's pretty easy from there.
All right. And this is it for this deck. Thank you for hanging out with me, BlackDama. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we dip out?
No, I'm just super excited to be featured on the channel. Prashant, awesome job. Thank you for having me on. You know, like I still need to take a moment to like fathom what just happened. You know, just being on the show. You know, I love the Marvel Snap community. Big shout out to all the creators. Shout out Cozy. Shout out Alex. If you ever see this, love you guys. Shout out Hooglin. I got out so many people to shout out. Everyone's cool in the Marvel Snap community. I hope you guys love the deck. I hope you get some wins. You know, I'm always refining, always trying out, and this probably won't be the last version of this deck. You know, I'll get back into the kitchen soon, cook some new stuff. I have something in mind, but keep that a secret for now.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I'll definitely have BlackDama on here again if he has an awesome Galactus cook for all you toxic players out there. So till next time, guys, keep on snapping, be safe, and peace.
Peace out.